What's up, guys? Again, with Jackpot DFS, also kind of doubling up tonight, putting out some guys I liked for week one. I did a show with DFS Bachelor on the early look on his program, and once again, if you guys aren't checking him out, please do so. Big help to me having me on the show, putting me out there. So much love for him for doing that. Wanted to say that I'm working on getting some better equipment. I know there's some the visual and the audio is a little bit here or there, so I've got that coming in. Unfortunately, with a lot of families doing the virtual learning and things like that, they've pretty much wiped out everywhere. So I went on Amazon Prime and I've got that stuff coming in. So there'll be some new improvements to the channel. Putting out some better quality for you guys to see throughout the season, and that'll be coming rather soon. Furthermore, I use Draft Dashboard. I've used this probably for 2 or 3 years. If you guys aren't using this, you guys should really think about getting it. This is a great tool. It shows you basically everything you need to know. It saves you a lot of time. It's going to save you a lot of time researching on your own if you're looking for those plays that are going to put them together for you to make strong lineups. Lets you create a watch list. Lets you create safe players and basically put them in lines, and gives you like an estimated number as well. And you can build, I think, up to 40 lines at a time. And you can generate those over to DraftKings or FanDuel, whatever you're into. And you know, for guys like me, I use both sites during the NFL season. Some other sites, I don't use both for all platforms, for all sports. I just use mainly football. I use both sides, and then maybe basketball, things like that. Some things are a little bit more user friendly on either side to me. And that's just my preference. You guys have a choice on what you want to use, but be responsible. You know, I try to bet, set aside amount each week to play with, and try to keep that bankroll kind of about the same. You know, for smart playing. I do work a full-time job, and you know, we all have families and all those things we have to provide for. So make sure you're being responsible. Players I like this week, I'm kind of going to do a top 5 that I like, and I'll try to find like a value person that I like as well for each position. And then I'm thinking probably Friday, Saturday, I'll try to put out a more guys that I like for sure locks. Once kind of injury news comes out and we kind of know who's definitely going to play, and if that you know, week one, once again with no preseason. Guys haven't had a chance to really get themselves together. I mean, week one was like first preseason game for like rookies and like some of these guys who are newer to their teams and things like that. So, yeah, I think these guys are going to hit a learning curve. But when you guys got like veterans and things like that that's played together for years, not so much of a learning curve. It's just it's like riding a bike, as you kind of seen with week one. With some of the veteran guys and things like that. I think with week one at the quarterback position, Lamar Jackson's always that guy who's going to produce with his feet, throwing through the air. Guys like that are just guys who are just going to make plays, and it's hard to account for the quarterback being mobile as well. He's always a good player, and one of those guys you can't ever count out week one. The thing about him is the price. You know, I'm one of those guys who like to pay down a QB. I think you're better off going to a guy like Aaron Rodgers or a guy like Josh Allen this week. Those are two of my preferred top 2 picks of the week. I think those guys have excellent matchups, and those guys, it's hard to see those guys not performing against the opponents this week. Number one for me would be Aaron Rodgers. Number 2 would be Josh Allen for me. And then going down the list, I like Matt Ryan. Both Matt Ryan and Aaron Rodgers had big weeks last week. I don't see any reason why that wouldn't continue this next week. I like both of them, and then I also like Josh Allen as well. So those are three of my top five. Going down the list here, Kyler Murray is my next in line at number 4, and then number 5 would be Jared Goff going against Philly this week. As far as a value guy, you're already going to get kind of a value with Jared Goff, but I like a guy like Mitch Trubisky. Could very well go in and perform very well. He kind of surprised some people, but I like Jimmy Garoppolo for the value pick this week. He's going against the Jets. Jets are going to be a struggling team. They're rebuilding, and I could see them struggling for they struggled last year. They're probably going to struggle this year, and can see them going to get their first victory of the season, and kind of get it together a little bit more. But that's it for QBs for an early look, top 5 and value pick. Moving on to running backs this week, we'll look and see what we like here. I'm all fade for Christian McCaffrey this week. High price tag, the guy's a beast, but I'm a full fade on C-Mac this week. I think the Buccaneers defense is tough. As you've seen last year, the Bucs are like the one team who just had his number, and I don't see why that doesn't continue this week. You've got a new system, new QB, Teddy Bridgewater. I think if Carolina's going to be competitive this week, they're going to have to pass, and I think the Bucs have the number of have McCaffrey's number and shut him down. And I don't see him being able to match up and make that price tag attractive this week. The guys I do like this week, Zeke. Zeke is one of them guys. Obviously, we've seen the first game. Zeke is going to be different this year. He's going to be involved. He's going to be catching the ball. He's going to hard run, hard to stop. I like him this week against Atlanta. I see that being a close competitive matchup this week. I also like Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry came on strong last year. I think Derrick Henry is still one of them guys who's going to keep putting up numbers and keep the competitiveness and the strongness going this season as well. And I don't see anything slowing him down. We'll have to see kind of like what happens when Mostert. I mean, if they're playing at the Jets, I can see Tevin Coleman getting a little bit more involved. So 6,400 is kind of one of those prices where you pay, and then if Tevin Coleman comes in and steals like 10, 13, 15 carries, it depreciates the value. So I don't really like that as a top 5 pick. I think he's worth a shot this week if you're playing multiple lines, but not for me this week as far as a main, like if you're a single lineup player or single entry player. I do like Kenyon Drake. Kenyon Drake is going up against the Redskins, the Washington football team, should I say. Hard to knock that now that they're the Washington football team. But he showed explosiveness last week, and they're going to have a hard time rebuilding this year, and Haskins is still coming along and going to have a hard time getting along. Obviously, with took a second half comeback, which I was shocked by, but maybe that's something here to come. We'll see what happens, but I don't expect their defense to be able to slow down Kyler Murray, and their offense looked pretty good on this past Sunday. Moving on to guys I like this week. Obviously, it looks like Connor's going to miss some time, so you got a cheap guy with Benny Snell, but to me, it could be a top 5 play this week. And then moving on to a guy like a Malcolm Brown going against the Eagles. This guy looks like he's going to bring it this year. You saw that Sunday. Looks like he's going to be strong competitive this year. Couldn't be stopped Sunday. I see nothing but more of that this coming up week. Looking down the chart here to try to see if I can find a guy that's cheap. Just couldn't find it. You're going to find guys that that are in that 5 to 75K range. I think you're better off kind of going with a guy if you're going to pay up. You're better off going with a guy like Zeke or Henry or even Drake. Jonathan Taylor is going to be starting for Indianapolis. Minnesota's D is kind of hit or miss. He's also going to share some time with Hines. It's hard to know what that's going to look like, and we saw some Hines that stole some of the show this past Sunday, but I think Taylor made himself look pretty good on Sunday, and I would expect him to start and get bulk of that carry going into the game Sunday. Kind of looking at the other guys, I do like Ronald Jones against Carolina on Sunday as well. You've seen he was tough running. Tom Brady struggled a little bit, but you kind of seen him running as well. So that's kind of shaky running back this week. Not a lot of great matchups, but you kind of have to pick and choose what you're going to like this week. But as far as my top two guys, Zeke, Henry, Mostart, Kenyon Drake, and Taylor are probably my biggest likes this week. And then I also noticed that consideration for like AP, who obviously was getting some run on Sunday with the Lions. So, but I think Green Bay is going to bring it this year. Not so much on the defensive side, but more of like outscoring people. Moving on to receivers, I like this week. Two big name guys I think will just keep trucking this week. I do love Hopkins and Davante Adams this week. I really like the Aaron Rodgers pick. I really think Davante Adams is just going to keep on getting it this week. The same thing with Hopkins. I mean, I don't see anything slowing them down this week, and I can see another trend of them too. Those guys most likely are just going to be locks for me this week. I don't see any reason why you would trend away from them guys. Julio Jones as well, obviously, and even Calvin Ridley. These two guys are going to be main targets for Matt Ryan, and I don't see why that would stop this week. Dallas has not shown me anything that shows me that they're going to stop anything that's already going on from week one, and I see them guys just trolling on. Other guys I like this week. Robbie Anderson consideration. Tampa Bay, I think their defense pass side is going to be a little bit. It's the run game that they really stop. But passing the ball wise, Robbie Anderson has a lot of speed. He's a big receiver. I can see him hooking up again. He had a 70-yard touchdown run this past week. Can definitely see that again. He's only 5,200. Can also see Slayton was obviously a big target guy. I'm not sold on Chicago's D just yet. You got Slayton 5,000. And then looking down to see Mike Williams, a guy like that against KC, only 4,200. You're going to get guys like that who are going to be targets for Tyrod Taylor. And some consideration for a cheap guy, Adam Humphries. He had a few catches for the Titans Monday night, and could be one of those guys that give you some salary savings. A couple other guys to mention, Cooper Kupp and Robert Woods. These guys are going to be big-time targets, I think, this week. Cooper Kupp didn't really get it going this past week, but Robert Woods still sure did. So I think Robert Woods will be a considerable target for the Rams, and I can see Cooper Kupp picking it up. He's the most consistent target on third down in the NFL right now. So Cooper Kupp didn't have a great big game Sunday, but I can see that changing really quick this week. So I would definitely lock in Woods this week for sure, and in consideration for Kupp. Looking at the list to see if I'm missing anybody. Keenan Allen had a few targets. He's pretty cheap. Still looking down just to make sure I didn't miss anybody. But for first look for me this week, having some time to actually look at these guys, those are my big picks for the week to start out with, and then more Friday or Saturday I'll lock it down more for sure and give like a top 5 playing for me this week. Moving on to the tight end position, Mark Andrews is one of them guys who just Jackson has a couple targets. Mark Andrews, these guys, nobody can figure out how to stop this guy. All he does is score. So he's always in consideration. Zach Ertz kind of had an off day Sunday. You seen him get outshined by his other tight end there, but I think he's going to be. It's going to be some weeks it's going to be him, and then other weeks it's going to be Goddard. So I mean, I think with a cheaper Goddard, I mean, I think that's the way to go. I mean, Ertz is only 5,600 so on DraftKings. So I mean, it's not like he's going to break your back getting him. But if you're going to pay up 5,600 to get him, why not go up and get Andrews? My kind of thing. Other consideration for guys this week, Hockenson had a big day. I can see that happening again, for him with hooking up with Matt Stafford. I can also see Jonnu Smith. I'm not sold that the Jacksonville Jaguars are the defense they were. They've lost some pieces, and Tannehill's obviously going to be a pretty good quarterback for a few more years to come, and I don't see why that changes on Sunday. But Dallas Goedert, obviously 5,000. Tyler Higbee didn't really get going this past Sunday, but he's explosive. This guy can catch multiple touchdowns in a game. He's taken the first string tight end position away from Everett for the Rams, and this guy can obviously put it down. And then another guy, Rob Gronkowski, which I expected a big game out of Week 1. Obviously, you've seen O.J. Howard get a touchdown instead. So maybe it's like a Gronk is the guy they're watching for, and then O.J. Howard, which is a great player. He hasn't had time to shine, but a guy like Tom Brady, this guy could pick up numbers this year and surprise some people. Value pick of the week is going to be Dalton Schultz. This guy is going to be playing until we see what happens with Blake Jarwin. I don't know how serious the injury was or how long he'll be out, but Schultz will be the guy. And then also Jack Doyle. I'll give you 2 value picks at tight end this week. I think Jack Doyle is going to be one of those guys who are going to go for a couple TDs one of these weeks, and you're going to wish you had him at a savings of 3,600. Moving on to defenses that I like for Week 1. I do like the 49ers D. I love the Bills D. Bears as well. At Ravens as well. And then the Titans D. I think Minshew can be one of those guys. Kind of like reminds me of like a Fitzpatrick. The guy can be really good, and then other times, he could throw 5 interceptions. Value defense of the week would be the Rams. Remember, these guys still have a pretty good defense. With Philly struggling and a good defense like the Rams, I could see Wentz having another bad game and these guys come into play, and you can save some salary there with the Rams. That's going to be it for the top 5 plays for each position. By Friday or Saturday, I'll put out a final video for what I think is going to happen on NFL Sunday. Remember, guys, if you haven't clicked and subscribed, please do so. I'll be working on getting the channel more up-to-date audio-visual. I'm working on also getting an intro video set up, and look forward to helping you guys as much as I can. If you guys have any comments or any kind of questions or anything like that I didn't answer, I'll try my best to do so throughout the week. Also, you guys can follow me on Twitter at JackpotDFS. But you guys have a great night, and we'll talk to you soon.